very much. So happy and so honored to be here once again for the 79th time this is taking place. So this is a wonderful event for the community, as we all know. And I'm going to read you something that I put together, just trying to memorialize everything that goes on here. That it is an honor to be part of this traditional event. On Friday night, for the 79th time, the communities of East L.A. and Boyle Heights will come together to cheer their team to victory. The high school from Boyle Heights will host the high school from East L.A. in the community's grand stadium, East L.A. College. Garfield High School's crimson, red, and blue team of young men will play their hearts out to keep the trophy where it belongs. But this will be no easy challenge, as the tough Cardinal Red and Gold team of Rough Riders will be trying to ruin those plans. This rivalry will not be fought only by the two teams on the field. More than 20,000 loyal men, women, children, teenagers representing both sides of Indiana Avenue will be cheering and screaming in support of their boys. When the final seconds tick off the clock and the players wipe off their blood, sweat, and tears, there will only be one team that will be crowned as champions of the East L.A. Classic. But both would have participated in an honorable manner. Whether it is the Garfield Bulldogs or the Roosevelt Rough Riders that win the game, we will all witness one great competition and the most anticipated community event of the year. After all, this is the largest high school game played west of the Mississippi. As principal of Garfield High School, I wish both teams the best of luck. But my heart is with the mighty Bulldogs. Our team follows the motto our great president, James A. Garfield, once stated: everything is possible when a young person has a clear head, a true heart, and a strong arm. Finally, I want to thank all of our parents, our teachers, our staff, our coaches, our sponsors, students, school police, and community for helping us make this event possible. You are truly appreciated. Thank you, and go Bulldogs.
It's an honor to be here tonight, or today. And with great honor and dignity, I take pride in welcoming all the students and coaches here, and the fans and supporters of Roosevelt and Garfield to the biggest high school rivalry game, let me just take it out here, of the west of Mississippi, East Los Angeles Classic. These classic roots run deep. As roots are essential to the life of a tree, so are the roots of our family members that have walked the halls, essential to our two schools and our one community. These roots are deep, intertwined, interconnected, and interdependent. Many of our families are generational, and some with members on both sides, in both schools. So this may cause a little bit of a split personality when they're rooting for at the game, or which side to sit on, but in the end, we are all rooting for one community. And for all of our students to not only shine in the field, but also in the classroom and in the community. This highly acclaimed football tradition has unified our two schools since 1925. And tonight, as was said by Mr. Huerta, is our 79th rivalry, with attendance sometimes reaching over 20,000 in the stands, being the largest high school game this side of the west of the Mississippi. Our fans often say that this evening is more than a football game, but it's a time for our generations of families to reunite and represent both East Los Angeles and the Boyle Heights communities. In addition to our football game, we're going to see some competition at halftime with our drum majors tossing their batons to perfection, our marching bands, our drill team, our dance team, our color guard, and of course our cheerleading squads. The spirit's going to be feverishly high, and our mascots will keep that love of the game going. Players, as you put on your jersey on Friday, remember that you don't just represent yourselves, you represent your teams, your school, and our community, and the legacy and history of 8 decades of generations that have worn those jerseys before you. I bless everyone to have a great game, stay healthy and strong, and this game is another game that marks a united history of our community. So thank you. I wish both coaches and teams best of luck. And of course, I got to give it up that the Rough Riders will pull ahead. Prediction by 10 points.
Good morning. The Friday night lights, the yelling coming from one side of the stadium and the booing from the other. The cold wind blowing through each and every person in that stadium, but they remain in their seats. They remain chanting all for one reason, to cheer their team to victory. For the 79th year, 2 neighboring schools and 2 neighboring communities will come together here at the East Los Angeles College to bring home the winning trophy. Going back to the 2011 Classic, I remember the pouring rain, splashing here and splashing there. That year, I saw it all. I saw the blood, the sweat, the tears, the frustration, the stress, and the contention. Not only from the Bulldogs, but from the riders. As a fan, the moment those boys run across the field and the clock begins to tick, it becomes a nervous wreck waiting for those last 5 seconds of the game, wondering who will be the 2013 East L.A. champions. As a student, my school pride rises to its maximum. And as a performer, that feeling during halftime is simply breathtaking. As children, alumni, students, parents, and grandparents attend this traditional competition, I would like to wish both schools the best of luck. I mean, after all, the winner claims bragging rights for an entire year, and that's serious business. Also, thank you to the principal, Mr. Huerta and Mr. Bivens, the administrators, the leadership, the band along with color guard, the cheer and drill, the school police, and the coaches from both schools. With 3 consecutive wins, Garfield will undoubtedly take the win this year. Garfield Rising.
I won't take too much time. I just want to echo the same sentiments as both principals have already stated. I want to thank everyone for making this possible, especially the committee that runs behind the scenes. I want to also acknowledge our assistant principal in charge of athletics, Mr. Cantu, and our new athletic director, Mr. Torres. They're doing a great job. I'm sure they're going to deal with me later in regards to my guest list, and this is why I'm trying to soften them up right now. Hopefully it's going to work. But seriously, I just want to say thank you for everyone coming out here. It's going to be a great game on Friday night. Everyone keeps stating that, you know, we're a good team, we're a good team. Well, Roosevelt's also a good team, and their record is very well proven that. We struggled a little bit early on, but I think we're starting to hit our stride, and I think we're going to make it a great game for everyone to enjoy. Last year was a great game, in my opinion, and I'm sure this one's going to be even better. But just as I stated last night at the banquet, you know, the life is a little bit more than this game when you leave. So just make sure that we come out of here with respect and dignity for one another, and just get after it on Friday night. Good luck to Roosevelt, Coach Cid. Good luck to our boys, and we're going to make some great things happen here on Friday night. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. Just like Coach said, I want to thank the media and the administrators for being here and big support. And I also want to say that this game means a lot to Roosevelt and Garfield because it's tradition, family, community. And I also want to thank or mention the coaches, because I know throughout the whole year that they put so much work and time into the kids, and weight room and film, and they've been a real big part of this program. And it's been an honor playing for Coach Hernandez, and it's been an honor playing with my brothers beside me. And just this game is going to be really big. It's my last year. I want to go out, and I know it's going to be a good game, and that's it.
I want to start out by thanking all the media that's here. I think one of the reasons why this game is so big is because we do get a lot of media coverage. And I appreciate you guys being here. I also want to thank all the sponsors that are connected to the game. 2 in particular, Nike, who's provided a lot of good stuff for both teams and both schools to wear. Also, FCA, a member, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, who work with both schools. They come in and they do a great job working with our kids. I'm so glad that we have principals and student body presidents that can come up here and talk about the game and put the game into perspective, because you know, it's hard for me to do that sometimes. So I'm glad you guys do that. Appreciate that. This game for us is just like the last couple of years. It's going to come down to, besides the bragging rights for the whole year, it's also going to come down to whoever wins will have an opportunity to be league champs. And also, there's a lot of playoff implications involved in this game. So, besides the bragging rights, there's a little bit more this year. Other than that, I want to thank you, and I'll see everybody at the game. Good luck to everybody.
Hello. How's everyone doing? My name is Campos, middle linebacker, Roosevelt Rough Riders. I'd like to introduce my teammates. Gilmero Bazan, DB. Richard Donato, DB. Robert Taylor, running back. Jose Mariscal, wide receiver. Angel Quesada, linebacker. Kevin Gomez, DN. Anthony Narbona, D tackle. And the versatile offensive defensive lineman, Jose Zambrano. Desi Ramirez, wide receiver. Christian Eslava, quarterback. And I'm pretty sure you guys all heard of Daniel and David Arriaga, the Arriaga brothers. I want to give a special thank you to my coach, Javier Cid, who's been a real mentor for me these past couple of years. I really look up to the guy. You know, he showed me a lot coming into Roosevelt. He's taken my life in a different direction, and he showed me the game of not only football, but of life. And I want to say thank you to that coach. I want to give a thank you to Mr. Bivens for coming in and, you know, taking his whole pride and spirit around. He's done a real good job. And all the students love him, and I'm pretty sure he loves us all back. You know, this game coming up this Friday, it's going to be a wonderful game. Garfield's a very talented team, as we can all see, as we've studied. They're extremely powerful, and, you know, we're ready, and we're ready to get it on. And I want to ask Lorenzo Hernandez, you know, or tell Lorenzo Hernandez how good job you've done with your team. They're a fabulous team, and we're ready for them. And I'm hoping it's all going to be a good game, and, you know, we're going to come out, do our best, and leave it all on the field, and that's all you can ever ask for.
And here we are, East L.A. Sports Scene at the press conference leading up to the 79th East L.A. Classic, and it's always a special time of the year, and Coach Hernandez, Lorenzo Hernandez, has been true to his game plan, to his blueprint. For the past 3 years, they've all been victories here in the Classic. Coach, your thoughts as a run-up and the ramp-up to the big game on Friday?
You know, I think we've had a very fortunate opportunity to be able to win 3 in a row. You know, all the credit goes to the kids and the coaches. They do a great job preparing these young men. But I think this game is no different. You know, it's gonna be a toss-up. You know, we look good on paper. That's what everyone says. But the reality is, we don't play that game on paper. Right. We play it out on the field, and here anything can happen. So we're just excited to be here and be able to represent, you know, Garfield High School in East Los Angeles versus Roosevelt and Boyle Heights. And Coach, this year's team compared to last year's, if you had to sum it up in just a brief description, how would you compare last year's to this year's? This year's much more experienced, much more dangerous, although very, very young, but definitely much more explosive. We've seen a change at quarterback. Of course, your running back and your schemes and everything had to change. We've seen Novato at quarterback, a sophomore. We've seen Delancey, number 9, doing a lot of the road work and the groundwork. And we look at the wide receivers as well. So the opportunity to implement everything all in one game. Your thoughts on what you might prepare for the Roosevelt Rough Riders and Coach Cid? You know, they have a great defense. They have a great offense as well, very explosive. You know, we got a couple of talented kids, though. You know, we just got to get to the second level and be able to execute. But like I stated earlier, you know, they have a great defense, and that's going to be a task. Last year it was a task. So, you know, hopefully this year we can have a little bit better results offensively and be able to score more points than, you know, and then, you know, what ended up from an interception and a turnover for a score. And again, another media opportunity here. Time Warner will be telecasting this, we understand, in both English and in Spanish. There's got to be a big boost to both programs and to the community. Yes, you know, when you get Time Warner involved like that, it's very important, you know, for the community. So we're just excited, and we're grateful that they're able to step in here and you know, kind of showcase what the community has to offer. Okay, Coach, last but not least, league implications, as Coach Cid said in his portion of the press conference, huge. Just like last year. So this has become a big, big event, not only for the community to come out, but fan base, just to see how this game is going to play out, so who might get the best nod at the playoffs. Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's about. You know, we've always dreamed of having it to where it came down to a situation like this in the Classic, where we would have to have the league, you know, champion decider. So it's going to be a great opportunity for us, and that's what we tell the kids. You know what, this has more than just a classic. It has seeding implications. It definitely has league championship implications, and that's what you want to play for in this game.
3 in a row, going for the 4th and final here for many of the players who have not lost to Roosevelt for the past 3 years, and they're trying to keep that same situation alive for this coming Friday. Coach, we want to wish you and the Garfield Bulldogs lots of success and continued success on into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay. Coach Lorenzo Hernandez, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to come and pick up some interviews here also with the players from both schools, but next up on our... Okay, coming to the players now for their version of the big classic, the big game coming up, and it's Nick Peralta. We saw you, Nick, as a freshman and then as a sophomore playing very, very important roles here in the wins that you've built up against Roosevelt. Now tonight you're 4th, going for, as they say, 4 in a row, the quadruple. Your thoughts on the team's preparation and the season so far?
The team's preparation is well organized. The coaches have put together a very good program, and since day one we've been grinding with Division I schools, and just come out and play our best, leave it on the field, and we hope to come Friday and come out with the victory.
Okay, you're still in the week preparation. There's lots of practices, lots of events going on, but then come Friday when you run out of the tunnel, describe the past 3 years and then getting ready for this year.
It's the most amazing thing in my life. My first year, the past years that I've been here, coming out of that tunnel is just amazing. Seeing 20,000 plus fans is amazing. Preparing for this game, I hope it's going to be the preparation for this game. Coming out on the field, it's gonna. I overcame all the 3 years, so it's going to be no problem for me.
Okay, and thus far in the season, you start always with those tough games, and then you get into the league. This is a very, very big game coming up. A lot of implications for the league finish in the title.
This game has much implication and going into playoffs too, and this is going to be really, really important to come up on this win.
Okay, Nick Peralta. See you on Friday. Okay,
yeah,
thank you very much. Right. Okay, we're going to come back with Coach Cid and then Christian Campos from Roosevelt. We'll be right back. This is East L.A. Sports Scene. Coach Javier Cid, welcome and back to the microphones here on East L.A. Sports Scene. Coach, we're very happy to have you back here, but even happier to see you now on the eve. Just within 72 hours, it's the 79th East L.A. Classic. Correct. Coach, tell us how many you personally have been involved with, both as a player and as a coach. That's a very, very a different profile. Not too many coaches can say they played and coached them.
Yes, I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of math. I played 3 years when I was a student at Roosevelt. I graduated in 1984. And then I came back in actually I coached in 1989 at Garfield. That was my first coaching job, even though I graduated from Roosevelt, my first job. And then after that, I spent 5 years as an assistant coach at Roosevelt, and then I kind of veered off and took a little different direction. But I came back in 2006, and now it's my 8th year as head football coach. So I've been kind of gone through it all. Not only have I coached at both schools, but you know, I'm now a head coach.
And you got to be very proud, not only as a coach and a player, but as a community member, because this is very, very important for our community as we gather every year for this big event. Your thoughts on as it gets bigger and better?
Oh yeah, I think it's great for the kids. It's great for the community to have a game like this, and I think there's room in this game for a lot of people to get involved. You know, we have the band, the cheer, the drill team, and everyone like that. There's a lot of people that graduate from Roosevelt that come back and they help out. So it's like a big event, and now it's a whole week. Yes. So we have the whole week, what we call Spirit Week. It's a great event. I'm just happy that I can be part of it and enjoy it.
Coach, and as you said, not only will this be one of the highlight games of the season, lots and lots of important post-game situations are pending on the outcome. Tell us how you're preparing the team as you go into it, win or lose, because there's still going to be a playoff bid coming.
Yeah, lately the last couple of years has been an interesting situation because every year it's obviously for the bragging rights of the community, but this year again is for the league title. Is going to be on the line once again. We have to try to win this game to share the league title, and for us to consider ourselves league champs. But also more importantly is because we have Garfield, Roosevelt, and Southeast now that are all trying to vie for playoff positions. So I think that's probably one of the most important things. We want to win this game, but we more importantly we want to be able to continue our season and get a good placement in the playoffs, so we could hey, everybody has a quest of winning the championship.
Quickly, last year, defensive gem of a game. Everybody saw great defense last year. Coach, might the coin get flipped tomorrow, Friday night, and we'll see a lot of offense?
I think it's probably going to be a little bit more offense, but at the same time, you don't know. All the preparation goes on. When these two teams meet, anything can happen. I believe it's going to be a little bit more offense this year, and I think both teams are basically practicing on that. I mean, defensively, both teams are pretty good. But I got to give credit to Garfield. They've been scoring a lot of points. So we're scoring points too, so it should be interesting to see what happens.
Well, Rough Rider Nation will be here supporting you in this big game, Coach, and we want to wish you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and we'll see you at the game.
Okay. All right. There is Coach Javier Cid, head coach of Roosevelt Rough Riders. We're going to bring in the captain or the co-captains here for Roosevelt in just a moment, and we're going to start off with Christian Campos. We'll be right back. And here he is, number 30 on his jersey, Christian Campos, number one in many, many of his fans' hearts, especially family. Chris, let's talk about this game from a family perspective. It's important. We all, the coaches and you during the press conference have said how important it is as a team for the standings and for the postseason, but you, for a family member as well. You grew up watching the Classic. Now this is going to be your last Classic. Talk about your past experience and for this coming Friday.
This coming Friday and the past experience. First of all, my grandfather played in the Classic. My two uncles have played in the Classic, and my father played in the Classic, wearing the same number 30. Okay. Wow. Which a lot of people can't say, and I'm very happy to say that. And this Friday, it's my last Classic. I had a ball my last 2 years. Even though we came up short, I played my best. I did good. And, I played in the same game that my father, my uncles, and my grandfather played in, which I'm happy to say I was able to do that. And this is my last Classic, and I'm going to give it all I could, leave everything on the field, and, get very emotional after.
Chris, you're in a great position here to help the young players for their first Classic. Any of the players come up to you and kind of ask you for some advice, just to say, hey, I'm going to suit up, but then when I go out there, man, am I going to hold up, because it's going to be such an adrenaline rush. Anything you're advising the younger players to get ready?
I talked to one of my outside linebackers, Ignacio Vasquez, who's going to be starting as a sophomore for his first varsity Classic. And I just told him, you know what? I was there the same position you were about 2 years ago. Just keep calm. Try not to stare at the crowd too much. Block everything out and just play your game. Just play your game and think of your assignments, what you have to do. And when you come down hard.
And lastly, I want to put this aspect in here, because mom and dad and family, brothers, sisters, I don't know how big your family is, but they have to be watching your every move this week, because they're expecting a very big game from you.
It is a lot of fun knowing that my family's going to be there. And like always, my family is always there 100% to back me up and to always be there for me and always make sure and support me, which I'm very happy for. And I know they're going to be looking at every move, and that's why every move is going to be at 100%.
Okay. You size up the opponent. You know what the Bulldogs are going to bring. And as you mentioned in your speech there during the press conference, they're going to be tough. They're talented.
They're a talented team. They took on some very Pac-5 powerhouse schools in the preseason, and they did a real good job. They are a powerful team, but so are we, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. So it's going to be a good game. It's two relentless teams going at it.
The battle for the East L.A. Classic, always going to be a very, very, very good game. We wish you best of luck, okay?
All right,
Chris Campos. All right, there he is. And they're starting to get some of the media attention up there where they're having the team photo, so we'll try to pick up a few more players before they have to leave and go back to campus. This is East L.A. Sports Scene. Check. Here we are now. After the press conference, we're now able to speak with some of the players, and we're now going back to Garfield and the Bulldogs. Tyjon Delancey, number 9 on his jersey, wears it proudly. Third Classic in a row that you played in. Tyjon, your thoughts on preparations for this coming Friday's big Classic against the Roosevelt Rough Riders?
Oh, my thoughts on this Classic, just come in working hard, bring home this W for it could be 4-0. You already know.
Yep.
That's how I go.
Okay.
Oh, that kind of rhymes, huh?
Oh, yes,
but
it
anyways, yeah, I got to come. I got a big role. Lance and Larry came. They got the W for us. Now it's my time to fill in their shoes.
Right.
So
That's right.
I'm going to come, bring it, do my best, hold on to the ball, and get this W.
Let's talk about the season thus far. It seemed like it's a two-part series. The first part, very difficult, very hard. But again, you got a lot of character. You got a lot of experience and lessons learned from the first half of the season. Now, as Coach Hernandez said, things seem to be going pretty smooth for you as you drive towards the end of the season.
Yes, sir. We played St. Bonaventure, Edison, Venice, some of the top 3 schools. They was pretty rough from the beginning, but now going through league, we 4-0.
Okay.
I see how he said it was going to pay off. So I just kept on going, driving my feet, listening to him day by day, weight room.
Okay, and things are going pretty good at Garfield in the classroom, and academically everything's sound, right?
Oh, everything's sound, no fails, all A's, B's, some C's. I try to keep them up. Coach Hernandez say hard work pays off, so I've been working hard.
Okay, well, you know they're going to be keen on you because it may be a good running game both sides, but maybe there's going to be some deviations with the air game. But at the end of the day, you will be counted on to carry that ball quite a bit.
Oh, of course. I've been averaging at least 26 to 30 carries a game. Hopefully to get 26 to 30 carries a game. Okay. I got to really do my part, which is hold on to the ball. 'Cause I know there's going to be full, packed, so I got to get the job done.
Okay, last question. As you are now we're going to move forward real quick into Friday because you have been in that tunnel before. This is going to be a very different feel, though. Can you describe from the first several classics to this coming Fridays?
The first few classics, the spotlight was on Lance and Larry, but the biggest is going to be, I know, the spotlight is going to be on me, so I really got to come perform, give it my best.
Step up and do what you got to do.
Step up and do what I got to do.
Tajon Delancey, good luck in the game Friday.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, there he is, speaking on behalf of the Garfield Bulldogs and his thoughts and preparations for the 79th East L.A. Classic coming up on Friday, November the 1st, 2013. We'll be right back with a few more interviews. This is East L.A. Sports Scene. Okay, now rolling again. Now here with more players from Garfield, we bring the quarterback, number 12, Asensio Navarro, in to speak with us on his thoughts and preparations for the East L.A. Classic coming up on Friday. Asensio, how you doing?
Good, and you, sir?
I'm doing well, doing well. Let's talk a little bit about your background here, what led you up to Garfield. We understand was possibly playing or you did play in the Bobcats program.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about that and how it gave you preparation and good motivation to be at Garfield.
Well, I played at the Bobcats, so that's where you're supposed to come is to Garfield. And then all my uncles came here. They all played for Garfield.
Oh, okay.
The Soto brothers, they all played here.
Okay.
And that they inspired me coming here too.
And their first names were?
Martin, Cisco, and Gabriel.
So it's a family-based tradition to be a Garfield then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and now let's talk about your role. You're the quarterback,
sir.
but you're also a sophomore. Coach Hernandez has a lot of confidence in you to lead the team. Talk a little bit about how the season has gone and from the start to where you are now, full of more confidence, most likely, and prepared for the game.
We started off a little slow in preseason. We're getting better as it progresses to the games coming up and the games that just passed. We've been coming together more as a team, and we're more prepared and getting more progress every game that comes by.
Okay. And as a sophomore, a big responsibility. Talk a little bit about that. How do you feel in preparation?
I don't know. It's just I'm already used to the pressure. I like the pressure. I like being put on the spot. I always have my teammates to have my back, so I'm never really.
Okay. And let's talk about the whole team perspective here, because not only for offense, a lot of the defensive players talk to you as well for leadership.
Yes, sir.
Talk about how both sides of the coin, or both sides of the team, come together at practice and then for the games.
We push each other during practice. We give each other the best look we can, make practice harder than the game. The seniors the returners and the seniors from defense and offense, both giving me advice on how to take the games that come up and play my hardest and just do my best.
Okay. And you've got a long future ahead of you. You're a sophomore, then be a junior, and then a senior, but this is classic #1 for you. Any, they say, the butterflies starting to build up or the nervousness yet?
A little bit, sir. I'm trying to just take it as a normal game. My teammates helping me just play how you normally would play. Don't get into the hype. Just play like you would.
Okay. And the coaches have everybody ready to go?
Yes, sir. We're ready.
Okay. Since you're in Nevada, we want to thank you for giving us some time here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, in preparation for the Classic. Good luck on Friday. Okay, all right, we're going to try to come back with a few more players here from Roosevelt and then wrap things up here from East L.A. College in the garden, the new garden that they built here for the school. And this is what it's made for, to host community events just like this. We'll be right back with more of East L.A. Sports Scene. Okay, continuing on with the Garfield Bulldogs, Cleo Session, number 7 on his jersey, and you got to be ready to go. This is nothing new to you. You've been in 2 of them. This is your 3rd, correct?
Sir.
Okay, how you doing today, Cleo?
I'm doing very fine. And you?
Okay, doing well. Thank you very much. And this is always a big event every year. Not too many high school players can say that they play and participate in schools and in the game just like this. Your thoughts on this now for coming Friday?
Well, this Friday, I think we're going to do good. We're going to have like a good game. It's going to be a good game because they have a good team and we also have a good team. And it just comes down to the end. Like the coaches said, the last person that's on the field, leave it out on the field. And when the clock hits 0, it determines who wins.
And your career at Garfield, it's been one where they've called on you to do a number of things. You've been the man in the middle, the man that can go anywhere on the field that Coach Hernandez asked. Talk about how that's built up your confidence in your play for these past 3 years.
Well, my freshman year, all he asked me was to return kicks and play wide receiver, so that's what I did. In my sophomore year, he gave me a big role to play the star wide receiver on some plays, so and that's what I did. And this year, I guess I'm our main receiver, so it all comes down to me on the receiving corps, and I'm the leader of that receiving corps, so they all look up to me, so I have to show them what.
Well, your versatility also shines forward because we've seen you a quarterback. If I'm correct on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thoughts about the year to come? You got one more to go as a senior, and I know you're not looking too far ahead, but nonetheless, the school is doing very well. The team is having great schedules. You couldn't ask for a better schedule. Talk about how that's really helped you out to progress as a player.
That's the schedule in the beginning. Like, it helps me play with D1 players, and it's like when you play with them, it's just basically looking at yourself. Like, when you play with D1 players, it's like you're in college already almost. So it's just like, just play, do the best you can. Okay.
And lastly, Coach Hernandez has been a big mentor for you these past 3 years, and one more to go. So you got to be very happy with your career at Garfield, correct?
Sir, I look up to Coach Hernandez. Like, he does a lot for me, like, and I does a lot for him, and we just keep on the safe side.
Mutual respect and mutual admiration.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Cleo Sessions, thank you, and good luck in the game Friday.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, all right. That will just about do it for our players from Garfield. They're going to have to get back to campus. They're having their pregame or their meal here at lunchtime, and then we'll continue on with just a few more interviews from Roosevelt, and then we'll wrap things up here for East L.A. Sports Scene's coverage of the preparations during Spirit Week here for the 79th annual East L.A. Classic. We'll be right back. Okay, here's our first opportunity to meet and greet Kevin Gomez. He's a junior, wears 48 on his jersey. And Kevin, how you doing today?
I'm good, and yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for taking the time out here and speaking with us about the preparations for the big game, the Classic, coming up on Friday night. Let's go back in time now. How did you really get that passion to play football? I know you have some dual aspects
yes, I do.
in your family and you as a player. Let's talk and tell our viewers about that.
Well, pretty much it went back to when my dad and my uncle played for Roosevelt. My dad is older than my uncle, so pretty much he played first, then my uncle, and then it went passed down to my brother, which was number 2 of last year, no, 2 years ago pretty much. Okay. And now I decided to continue the legacy.
Okay. And the position you play?
I play defensive end.
Okay. And now let's talk a little bit more about preparations for that, because that's a tough spot. Yeah. You got to be very durable, very strong, and almost injury-free to have a good season. But you started back in the Pop Warner days. Let's talk about that as well.
Well, pretty much Pop Warner, I was pretty much like a switching around player, but my main position for Pop Warner was mostly quarterback for the Bobcats and the Wolfpack. I played for both teams. It was a very good experience.
And what divisions did you play in at that time?
I played since I was 5, so I played Pop Warner since, I played Pop Warner for like since 15, 16.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you went through all levels?
I went through all the levels from flag all the way to midgets from the Bobcats.
Okay.
Finish off there.
All right. Now, at Roosevelt, home of the mighty Rough Riders, and this is going to be your second classic.
Yes.
Okay, and talk about the last year's classic for you, and comparing this year's, because both times lots were riding on the game because playoff implications are on the line here.
Well, pretty much in the beginning, I thought there was a lot of pressure on me because since I was a sophomore starting as defensive end, I was pretty excited, like shocking to see all these fans out here.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I thought it was a really good experience in the beginning. Like, it just, the adrenaline was like rushing and it felt good. But in this year, I'm ready. Okay. I feel ready.
So one under your belt gives you a little bit more maturity and confidence even.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, talk about your teammates now. Christian Campos, when we asked him, I said, did you kind of steady some of the younger players that have never played in the Classic? Might you be able to talk to some of the new players who are going to walk down that tunnel with you and kind of steady their nerves? Because it's going to be a big adrenaline rush for them as well.
Oh, well, pretty much, yeah. The people that are, some of our teammates that haven't played the Classic, first time Classic players for the varsity, yeah, trust me, I've went through that feeling. I'm going to talk to them. Okay. I'm going to tell them that you have nothing to worry about. Well, it's a little bit nervous wrecking in the beginning, but hey, once the butterflies are out, it's game time.
Now let's talk about this year's team. Very, very excellent again. Just like last year, only one defeat coming into this game. And as we said, very, very important results are going to be needed here to move into the playoffs. Your thoughts on the 2013 team? Give it a characterization. How would you call your brothers in arms, so to speak, in the pads and the helmets that get out there every Friday night? Talk about and describe the team.
Oh, well, pretty much our team, we have a very solid defense and offense. Well, in my perspective, with the side I play defense, I think we have a really strong and young defensive line. We have only one senior, which is 53 Zambrano, and the rest are all juniors. 2 tackles, Joseph Martinez, Anthony Narbona, and myself at defensive end.
Okay, and you guys are all set to go. Yeah, just a couple of more practices left, and here comes Friday.
Yes, sir. Well, just game time right here is coming up.
As I say, Kevin Gomez, we wish you the best of luck in the game Friday
Thank
as well.
You.
And into the postseason playoffs.
Thank you.
Okay, Kevin Gomez, there he is, a junior. He'll be back next year for Coach Cid, and we'll be back with a few more interviews from the Roosevelt Rough Riders. This is East L.A. Sports Scene.
Thank you.
Good job, man. And here we go, the starting quarterback for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, and he was baptized last year in his first Classic. And we remember the post-game interview with David Arriaga, and he said, he told us last year this was an outstanding experience. He learned from it, and he wants more. And that more day is coming up on Friday. David, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Okay, and this is a very, very special game. Not too many players can boast of saying, hey, I played in the Classic in my high school career in front of 20,000 people. This is going to be your second one. Your thoughts and preparation for it?
This year is going to be even better than last year. I think this game is like a huge game for both of us. And it's going to be good because the title's on the line.
Yes.
So winner takes the title. And it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good high-scoring game.
Competitive, and that's what Coach Cid was saying in his version of the press conference. Preparation, talent on both sides of the ball, and in fact, it's going to go down to the wire. Prediction that it could be more of an offensive-minded game this year.
It could be also special teams.
Yeah, there you go.
Special team. Their defense is really good. Watching film, watching their defense, what do they do? The outside linebackers, they're really good.
Now, David, let's talk about the season thus far. Lots and lots of success on your capabilities, both as a runner, as a rusher, and a passer. You've been able to, as they say, master that craft. Things you've done to stay sharp through the whole season.
Just listen to my quarterback coach, Coach Tavera. He really taught me a lot throughout the whole last year and this year. Just practice, keep practicing hard, going over my reads and my plays and all that, helping each other. With the routes, the plays and everything. Okay. It's really good.
And your teammates are looking to you for leadership. Here, that's my quarterback, David Arriaga. Total 100% confidence in you. Talk about how you received it and how you feel about that.
I feel good because I could say that I'm doing something good for them. Like they could look back, and be like, oh yeah, my quarterback. I remember this and that. Like I like that. I like that feeling.
Yes.
So I'm gonna just keep leading them. Hopefully I'm gonna lead them to a victory on Friday night.
Leading by action and leading by example.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your thoughts from the family now, because we have to pull them in to this game because it'll be their second opportunity to be in this environment. Anything coming from the family, anything that they're trying to keep you on point to say, hey, don't get distracted. You know, I know your family is very, very supportive of you.
Like every day this whole week, my mom, every time we go home, my mom will be like, are you focused? Are you focused for this on Friday? Don't get nervous and none of that. Okay. Be like, okay, mom. I tell her, okay, mom, I won't. And yeah, my whole family, like everybody from Ontario, Chino Hills, are coming to see me to play. Right. So it's really good, man. I love my family.
Well, David, we're going to let you go here for a minute. We need to talk to your brother, but don't go too far away. We're going to bring you both back. Okay, coming up next, the brother, number 23, Daniel Arriaga. And how you doing today,
I'm doing good today.
Beautiful day here.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we're blessed with great weather and most likely good weather for the game Friday. We haven't talked too much about that element coming up in the game, but that just might be where the running game is able to really go well. Your thoughts and preparations for Friday's game?
Well, the game on Friday is going to be like a good game for both teams. And then like Garfield, they have a talent team this year, and us, we have a talent team too. Yeah. And then Garfield have a strong running back, Tyjon, and then he's really quick, and then our offense is like pretty quick too, so we could pass and run the ball.
Okay, now as I asked your brother, staying focused with the family. Are they doing anything to like make sure you don't do something different from your routine? You got anything that you're doing special to prepare?
Well, I'm just like working hard still, like try to get prepared for Friday, and then like I'm trying to like do my best out there, like what I did like the whole season, and then I was just trying to like show like I could do something on the field.
Rough Riders got to be very happy with the accomplishment this season. Only one loss, and you're just going into Friday's game, and then one more after that, and then it'll be playoffs. Not to look too far, because Coach Cid doesn't want that. He wants game by game. So how's the team's mentality right now in terms of mentally being focused?
Yeah, our team is like really focused. We're working so hard in the weight room, and like we just go work hard in the field. Like we study our plays, we watch film all the time, and like we just had to focus on Garfield this year.
Okay, lastly now, Daniel, your thoughts on playing in this classic. This will be your second? Okay, just like your brother. Yeah. Any butterflies already forming up in there? Anything nervous that you're feeling?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of nervous, but like I need to like to calm myself down, like to be ready for the game on Friday, and then like to show out.
Okay, we're going to bring your brother back in now. This is going to be our last clip here because it's a great opportunity to feature two brothers playing on the same team in the same game. So, David, your thoughts first.
My thoughts are like I love my brother. I love playing with him. Like we've been playing since when we were 7 years old. Okay. So at our last high school, our big game, our last year, is playing together. It feels good. Like I have him on the field. I know I could trust him with the ball. Yeah. If I need him to get a first down or something, I'll give him the ball and he'll get the first down for me.
Okay, and Daniel, same question for you. Playing with your brother then?
Well, playing with my brother is amazing because like whenever he's in danger, like I'm like on the field, like try to like get him open so he could throw the ball to me, and then like we have a good connection with each other, and we just like try to do this on Friday night.
Okay, and again, I forgot to mention this, but on campus now, you still have the Spirit Rallies coming up. A couple of more days left before Friday. Your thoughts on preparing for that as well?
Throughout the whole week, it was just Spirit Week. You know, on Monday it was pajamas. You know, we did pajama day too, and then yesterday it was superhero day. Okay. So we wore our superheroes, and then
yours was?
Oh, mine was Superman.
Okay, all right. Okay.
So it's like the whole school, like they really support us. Like the whole football team. Like on Friday is gonna be the big prep rally in the auditorium. So like the whole school is gonna be there. So it's gonna be good.
Okay. And Daniel?
Well, we just been like the Spirit Week. It was been incredible this year. We wearing our pajamas, Superman, like a hero.
Okay.
And then like.
And your superhero was?
Superman too.
Okay. Good.
And then like. Tomorrow, Thursday, is like a spooky Halloween. We got to wear a costume. Right. Okay. And then Friday, we just had to get ready for the game.
Let's talk about just the spirit of friendship and brotherhood, because when the game's over, you know players on Garfield. you're going to go maybe have a Big Mac or a whatever at some point in your futures, because you are now bonding for your future lives as young men. Talk about the experience now, David, for that, and then I'll give you the same question, Daniel.
Okay, like after the game, I know number 9, Tyjon. We both went to the same elementary school.
Good.
Like I seen him last year. I was surprised. Like, what are you doing over here? He told me the same thing. Yeah, like after the game, I'm gonna go hug him and be like, hey,
okay,
good thing out there. You know, you did your stuff. It's pretty much.
Okay.
Well, this Friday game is like, cause same thing. Like Tyjon, I knew him since elementary school, and like we knew each other. So like when I see him after the game, like I'm gonna tell him good luck. Okay. And after the game, like, oh, good luck on this game, and then yeah.
But again, the bottom line is you're friends. Even though this is a huge rivalry, you don't like each other on the field, but as they say, socially speaking, just like brothers off the field as well.
Mm-hmm. So like during the game, like we're like enemies. Like we try to play hard, but after the game, we come back to friends. Okay. So like we love each other. You see us probably see us in the playoffs again.
Okay, last question, because this is a media game. This is a Time Warner cable, and you're no strangers to being on TV. Your thoughts on their participation to help promote this program?
Time Warner did it last year with us. Classic is really good. Hopefully, well, probably it's gonna be on Derek TV too. Yes. I don't know. Time Warner is pretty good. Like I'm gonna be nervous during the game because it's gonna on live television. Yeah. So it's gonna be good. Like family that might not come to the game might see it on TV. Sure. So that's what, like the rest of the football players too. Like the families can't make it, they can see it on TV.
Okay, Daniel, your last.
Like Time Warner is like it's been awesome. Like past 2 years. Like last year was like amazing, and then like people like other country like stayed, like they could watch the biggest game on Friday nights, and like this is amazing.
Huge for the promotion of the program in the schools, the players, and the teams, and the whole community. When you say,
it's tradition. It's big out here. Everybody, like people I don't even know is gonna come here, and they probably know us, but we probably don't know them. So everybody's gonna come out here.
Okay, with that. Big game on Friday to both of you. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
And continued success on into the playoffs. Okay, we'll see you guys. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of East LA Sports Scene, as we took time out in our schedule to bring you the press conference for the 79th Annual East LA Classic. And that will do it for Eric Sarney, for Juan Rojas, and yours truly, Rico Cabrera. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay tuned. More exciting programming, sports programming, coming your way on East LA Sports Scene.